I'm Markie.
I'm Chasen. We're the parents of Bowen.
Yep, our son Bowen, he's going to be 9 months old, and he has Hypoplastic Left Heart Syndrome. So Hypoplastic Left Heart Syndrome is a rare congenital heart defect where the left ventricle is severely underdeveloped and non-functioning in most cases. For some heart anatomy, the right ventricle receives the blood from your body when it's low on oxygen. It goes from your right ventricle through your lungs to collect oxygen. From your lungs, you go to your left ventricle. The blood goes out through your body and back around. Bowen only has one ventricle, his right ventricle. So that's in charge of pumping blood both to his lungs and his body.
And it was caused by aortic stenosis, aortic valve stenosis. So the aortic valve just stopped working and high pressure in the left ventricle and just caused it to fail over time. We found out when he was in utero at his anatomy scan at 24 weeks.
Yeah, we found out at 24 weeks, and Bowen's heart didn't start out as a hypoplastic left heart syndrome baby. It grew into it. When we first found out, his left ventricle was actually extremely dilated and big.
Enlarged.
Which caused it to fail. And as he grew, his left ventricle didn't grow, so it became hypoplastic left heart syndrome. And after that, we had weekly appointments, weekly scans. They actually did echoes of Bowen's heart, which is where they go in with an ultrasound machine and do really in-depth looks at his heart every 2 weeks as we got closer every week. And it was quite the journey. No one thought that Bowen was going to make it. We went to San Diego, we went to Arizona, we went to a few places to get second opinions, and Las Vegas was really the only place who gave us the fighting chance.
Yeah. When we found out, I think we spent the whole day in bed just crying. It's tough. You don't expect news like that. You want happy news. But we came out on the other side of it now, and he's growing, so.
This was my first baby, You have this dream of your first kid, and a few of my best friends were pregnant at the same time. So, just having this, you're gonna have your baby in November and you're gonna spend the time at home and watching Christmas movies and all these things. And we spent our time in the CICU. So it was just, it was really hard to get that news. I feel like as a little girl, a lot of little girls dream about becoming a mom. And I am a mom, and I'm so grateful to be Bowen's mom, but it was just hard to have the unknown, You think, is it something I did? Was I going too hard in CrossFit when I was pregnant? And it's nothing that I did. So that was hard to accept, too. I couldn't have changed it if I wanted to.
It's pretty cool seeing him grow,
Yeah.
Came out at 5 pounds with oxygen in his nose. And now he's almost, 17? Mm-hmm. No oxygen, running around our house like a crazy man. So it's cool, but scary still. So
yeah, it's been a long road. There's been 2 open heart surgeries. Bowen had his first open heart surgery at 2 days old. The way to fix hypoplastic left heart syndrome, or it's more of a band-aid. There's really no cure for it, but you have a set of 3 surgeries that recirculates how your blood flows in your body. He got his first at 2 days old. We were in the CICU, the cardiac intensive care unit, for 29 days. And he got his second after not doing so well after that first surgery. We were really struggling. At 3.5 months. And Bowen is actually the smallest and youngest baby to get this hybrid of the second surgery. He got what's called the Glenn and the Norwood together at the same time, and he killed it. They thought he was going to be in there for, they said 21 days minimum, and we were home in 11. So he's really just a fighter. He's a tiny but mighty little thing, and he will tell you that. So, yeah.
Yeah, he's actually the youngest baby in the state to get the surgery, possibly the country. So
Yeah.
it's pretty impressive. The surgeons are pretty impressive. I think one of the biggest things is it's very stressful, and we get at each other sometimes. It happens, but we're a team. So end of the day, it's looking out for Bowen and our family. So
For me as a mother, I might be a little bit different. I feel like if there is a mom going through this, or you get this diagnosis that your kid maybe has a heart problem or a terminal illness, you have to become their voice. These babies don't have voices. You have to advocate for them. My advice is just educate yourself. Educate yourself on the disease, on the community, on what's available to you. And also when it comes to going to your doctor's appointments and medical things, one thing that was really hard for me and that I had to learn was that doctors are always going to tell you the worst case scenario, right? That's their job, is to tell you that. I'm thankful that they do tell you that, but the worst case scenario doesn't always happen. So you have to keep that hope that things are going to work out. Bowen is literally a miracle. They call him the miracle baby. Nobody thought he was going to make it, and he did.
every day you wake up and you got to check to see if he's still breathing, which is kind of crazy. So, but yeah, it's been a long haul so far. A lot has happened in 9 months, but we're lucky to have them, that's for sure.
Yeah.
2 to 3% of children every year are born with this, so it's not that many, right? So we're just trying to get out there and let people know where they can find resources too, especially here in Vegas. The Heart Center is fantastic. They've done an amazing job with us, help us out. And the foundation's been awesome too. So we just kind of want to get them out there more, hopefully get some more funding for other families too.
Survival rate of a baby with hypoplastic left heart syndrome who has had surgeries is only it's a wide range, 20 to 40% in their first year. After that, it goes to 40 to 60% up to the age 15. The oldest living person with hypoplastic left heart syndrome who hasn't had a transplant is in their 30s, to our knowledge. So this is still very new, and unfortunately, that is very likely that maybe Bowen won't be with us by the time that he's 15 if his heart fails and he can't get a transplant.
I feel like he'd be proud of us.
Yeah, hopefully in 5, 10, 20 years, Bowen is living a life. Maybe his little heart has made it then. Maybe he's had his heart transplant by then. But I hope that we're looking back at this video and one that we've been able to help other families who are going through hypoplastic left heart syndrome, a heart condition, any sort of bad prognosis for their child, and brought light on this defect and disease. And Bowen's probably off to college, and
Yeah,
we're
right.
the sad parents because
boy.
we're empty nesters. That's the hope. Yeah. Las Vegas, the Children's Heart Center of Nevada, they are God sent. They've been so amazing. They have a heart foundation here. You can just go to their webpage. I know that they do some events throughout the year, but really you can, even Instagram, there's so much social media now, and there's so many pages. One specific called HeartWorks, and it's all about research of, childhood heart defects and diseases, and just Google anywhere, you can.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
That's what we did.
Don't Google after your anatomy
No,
scan,
don't.
though.
Oh, boy.